Hey peeps, going
What's
on?
good?
How's it going?
It's going all right. Chilling, chilling.
It's a good day
Happy
today.
420 day.
Happy 420.
Happy
Yeah.
420 day. I think we'll all remember this day.
Yes, it's
Yes.
going to definitely be amped up in the years to come because 420 was already a day to remember. Now it's really a day to remember.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing my Bob Marley in celebration
Uh,
of,
that's what's
of
up. Salute to
420.
Bob. Salute to
Yeah.
420. But I don't know. Today was a good day, I guess, for everybody that's anti Chauvin, I'll say.
Yeah.
I'm anti bad cop.
Sheesh. Yeah. I'm anti bad person, period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bad
Even that
person, period. Yes.
even that white dude who was talking sick, that sergeant who was talking sick to that black dude that was walking down the street, telling him to get out of his neighborhood.
Oh, yeah. He got disciplined too. Did you see that?
Yup. The army said that what nothing to do with this.
Yep.
So you know what I mean? I think the camera phone allows us to see a lot more than what they want us to see.
Yes, and I advise anybody that has any interaction that's confrontational or that they feel that's not right, they should pull out their camera
Because when it
because
becomes
it's a receipt.
yeah, because there's always the two sides to a story, and people
Yep.
will lie to their grave.
Yes. Yes.
So you even see it with the trial. Like there's even with the camera. It's like don't believe that. He died from drugs and an exhaust tailpipe. Like
Well, they threw the carbon monoxide theory out the window because they threw that out the window. We
Which was crazy. Because to
wasn't
me,
even thinking about that.
yeah.
So, for anybody on the planet who does not know, the Derek Chauvin verdict came in
All three.
today, and he was found guilty on all three charges. So he'll be sentenced in 2 months, 8 weeks,
Yep, that's what they said. 8 weeks.
and we'll go 8 weeks. So I'm having faith in the judge that he's going to be like he was during this whole trial, which is he was just cut and dry, straightforward.
Man, I
I
would
felt
love
like
to
he
look
was
at
pretty
his
fair.
emails right now, or just his regular mail.
I feel like he was pretty fair.
No, but
I
he
feel like he
probably
was
get
pretty.
those death threats.
Um, Yesterday when the verdict was handed to the jury, the defense lawyer Eric Nelson tried to throw in there that something about a mistrial because of what
Maxine
Maxine
Waters.
Waters said, and
He threw up a Hail Mary.
that was
yeah.
yeah. I mean, one thing I can say about Eric Nelson is he's a defense lawyer, and if you need a defending, you might want to call him.
See,
Because
my thing
he
is
go, he
you
gonna
can't
throw anything at the wall and hope it stick.
you can't have 32
Anything.
the prosecution had 32 what's it called? The Sizzy only had 7.
Witnesses.
Yeah, and that the defense
And
only
they
had
and
7.
none of them had to be subpoenaed to be there. None of them had to be subpoenaed to be there, which means they was there on their own accord. They was willing to do what needed to be done.
But
Period.
Chauvin and them only had 7 though, man. I was like, you're not gonna even come close to winning like that, buddy.
I
Now
mean,
I'm thinking
I
about
had
it
made
though.
the statement that you know, by the end of this trial, Eric Nelson is going to want you to believe that you didn't see what you seen with your own eyes multiple
Spoke the
times if you
truth.
was somebody who watched it multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we in multiple angles. So
I
I mean,
felt, I think though from the beginning, I felt confident that there was going to be a conviction though. I just didn't realize that I was going to react the way I reacted.
See, I thought that there would be a conviction, but I thought the maximum would have been like 10 years he would have got. But now these, I
the
didn't think he would.
manslaughter charge. The
Yeah,
manslaughter
all 3.
charge.
All
No,
3.
I thought the whole time that he was going to be found guilty and he was going to jail.
And you know what though? Like I'm the type that even though I don't really fool with Biden and all, I like what Biden had to say to his family after. You know what I mean? As far as
Yeah,
like it ain't over, they got more work to do, and he's trying to end
right,
the systemic racism and all that.
right,
Like I loved hearing that.
And they
right.
said that Nancy Pelosi called as well.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
just like I don't know what Pelosi said though. I just love the way Batten definitely like he's not taking his eyes off the ball.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, she talked about the George Floyd, I think it's called the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. He was talking
Yeah.
about, they're still working on that. And, you know,
That's what they said is going to be the justice that we need because in that bill, it's a lot of reform and things that we need to happen. So
So do y'all think what do y'all think this guilty verdict will do for the country, for the world? Do y'all think it'll do anything?
I think what it'll do is I'm gonna tell you what it did for me. It showed me because I've watched numerous of times of the police shooting and killing a black man and not do no time for
And
it.
don't even go to
Or not
trial.
even, yeah, like, you know, for me, I feel like it's a step forward. It's a step forward. Like it's not a back, it's a step forward in all angles.
There's
And
definitely
we need to keep moving forward from that. Because in all of those cases, we've never seen their own come and testify against them. The police chief, the 911 operator, the EMS people. You know what I mean? Like just everybody. Like it was wrong. Like it wasn't even a black or white thing. It was a right or wrong thing in which you seen like it was wrong.
It was wrong.
It,
And in this case, we saw that blue wall of silence come tumbling down. But I think I asked y'all this before, but I'm gonna ask again. Do y'all think it's because they're sick and tired of what's happening, or do you think it's because the world's watching and they felt like that they had to step up and say something?
see my thing is it
both.
was on tape. And the one thing is they if it wasn't on tape, it would have been Derek Chauvin's word against their word, and they would have probably backed Derek Chauvin. But it's on tape, and they see how heinous and disgusting it was. And right is right and wrong is wrong in that incident. But
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that are on tape, you know?
But see, I think it's almost like this one was a no-brainer. But a lot of the other ones where there's some technicalities to, they don't, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They might not, might still protect their own. So I don't, like Kenya said, it's definitely a step forward. The key word is a step, but a lot of things still got to change for it to really, the ball to really start moving, honestly. Like that
Well, if you watched
report.
every day like I did, I watched every day, all the way. I sat through all of that. if you watched every day and you was able to take away like key and poignant moments during the trial from the different witnesses that the prosecution had, it all came to circle. So if you did have doubt, like you didn't have doubt after you heard the testimony of the 9-year old that stood there and watched it, like, you know what I'm saying? Her cousin, who was the 19-year-old, her name was Darnella Frazier, who, thank God, she had the strength and the courage to stand there and film. She didn't flinch. She didn't lose focus. The phone was steady the entire time, and she captured everything. Mm-hmm. Along with the other cameras, like, you know what I'm saying? So those different testimonies, and then the doctors, and then the police, everybody that came up and gave their perspective and their testimony, that if you had doubt before, just their testimony alone, you didn't have no doubt. You didn't the cameras from the cops was like, wow, because then you could hear what they were saying. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's only up from here, because I feel like the rest of those cops they're going to jail too. They're going to jail
That's
too.
another question I was gonna ask you guys. Do y'all think that those other cops are shook now?
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
For sure.
But I think there's still a lot of cops that's tone deaf to what's going on, and like a lot of shit is still going on that shouldn't be going on.
Yeah, yes. Because I mean, you see
things.
It's still happening. It happened 10 miles from where the trial is right now.
With Dante Wright, or whatever his name is.
Dante Wright. Wright. And then the little boy in Chicago. So I mean, it's still happening, and it's crazy. It's still happening. That's what if you watch the news briefing all the way after the Attorney General, he spoke. I think his name was what was his name? Something Ellis. Anyway, he spoke, and he was just saying, like, you know, like, now we have, like, the people, the good cops have to make the bad cops accountable. Like, it starts like within.
But see, what I'm saying is, like, for instance, that incident in Chicago, I feel like the cops are backing that officer. You know what I mean? So it's going to be kind of harder for them to even get a trial to that, because the grand jury might make it to where it's not a crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So in each state, and they have different laws and different things, but it's going to take time. But that's ultimately what needs to happen. And in those upcoming cases, I hope that, you know what I'm saying, those police officers are held accountable.
But I just feel like they threw Derek Chauvin to the wolves, that police department. I feel like the one in Chicago, he's going to have the backing of the police department, which is going to be 10 times harder to bring down justice for that incident.
Also, I think that's one of the big differences here with a lot of these cases. Like, they bring them before a grand jury, and the grand jury will decide not to pursue charges, whereas this one, they were definitely brought before a jury of their peers. And that's the same thing where the other police officer who was convicted in the Botham Jean case, she had a jury trial as well. So when it comes to the grand jury indictments and all of that stuff, a lot of times you wonder, for them to come to a place where they're not willing to charge or not willing to convict or whatever, what are y'all hiding? Or what are y'all presenting to them for them to come to the decisions that they're coming to?
Yeah, because remember the Breonna Taylor one, remember they said that there was a lot of things that was left out that they didn't tell them. So you never know what, you know what I mean? Because the police department and the district attorney, they work hand in hand together.
But in that case, wouldn't it be? It would be the decision of the attorney general, right?
I mean, attorney general, yeah, yeah.
Oh man, because
it was the black dude.
Yeah, that attorney general in Kentucky, they gave him the blues after that, because it was.
There's still a long way to go, but like this is definitely a foot forward, and if bad can get that law passed, then that'll get the ball rolling, hopefully, to where they're going to have to hold these cops accountable, especially if it's caught on tape. Now I want to hear no more of that. Body cam don't work. They need to.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad because the defense put George Floyd on trial. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't. It wasn't his trial. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he put, like, it shouldn't even had to come to this. Like, you know what I'm saying? It should have been an open shut, boom, 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 from the evidence right then and there. You're done.
They tried so much. They tried the drug abuse. They tried the heart problems. They tried the exhaust fumes.
Everything.
None of it worked.
Everything.
They was grasping for straws. But I mean, how much did they really have to work with?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So.
And anytime somebody's telling you they can't breathe, believe them. I'm telling you, I can't breathe. How you can? Why wouldn't you believe that? Mm-hmm. Regardless of what the fuck is going on, like I can't breathe.
Mm-hmm. And they telling you that position, you're not even supposed to have one on that.
So in that moment, you need to stop and reassess, Mr. Eric Nelson. In that moment, when someone says that, you need to stop and reassess. Things that Derek Chauvin did not do. He didn't stop and reassess. He ignored all of that shit. He even ignored them, his buddies, his comrades.
That was a tough
because I told you when I watched the body cam of the officer that was in the middle. I don't know his name, but the officer that was in the middle, because they showed a lot of footage from his camera. Mm-hmm. Because Chauvin's camera got kicked off or whatever. Like his camera was the only camera that was not on. Like it got knocked off. Yeah, okay. All right. So, but anyway, that cop, in my opinion, from watching those videos, I feel like he knew the very moment that Floyd took his last breath as well. Mm-hmm. Because he let up off of him. You had to feel that. Like, come on. Like, you had to feel that. Just like Derek felt that he was no longer moving or whatever. Like, you had to feel the moment that it stopped completely. You know what I'm saying? And that middle cop, his camera told me that he knew right then and there. Because then he starts saying little shit like, should we turn him over now? Yeah, or like little shit like that. He knew. Mm-hmm. He knew. But and he didn't say nothing else.
But my thing is, you participated all the way up until you felt the breath leave that man's body. You participated all the way up until there. So what was it in you to participate in what you knew was wrong for real? You participated in it all the way up until you.
You ain't never seen nobody like that.
You wouldn't be like.
They like to participate until shit get real.
Mm-hmm.
No, I ain't what I really wanted to do.
So those cops were the rookie cops to Derek Chauvin. In my opinion, like I said before, I felt like once Derek Chauvin showed up on the scene, he got there to poke his chest out. I'm the senior cop here. I'm gonna show you rookies how this is done. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he killed the man.
And what he really should have did was went up on the scene and asked them why they even handcuffing somebody for a freaking
$20. Exactly. But that still don't make it right as a human being. You know, you took oath as well. So I'm looking at you individually. Like, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of what is rank or whatever you was feeling in that moment, common sense, common decency, common empathy. Like, you know.
Wrong is wrong.
You know. Mm-hmm. So am I out there just as guilty? Officer Tao, the one that was standing guard, you're guilty too.
He's about to be done.
You're guilty too.
His smart ass mouth.
Yeah. Yes. All of them. So
now what do you guys think is going to happen during the sentencing phase?
As far as?
Derek Chauvin.
Like I said,
There,
I told you, I think he gonna get 20.
the prosecution is going to plead their case, which I know they'll do very well because they did well during the trial. They're going to plead their case on to why he should get the maximum, and the defense is going to plead his case, and he's going, do all of these things to still defend his clients so he can get the lesser, the lesser time. I do
Mhm.
know that Derek Chauvin's wife filed for a divorce like almost immediately when that shit happened, and she
Mm-hmm.
asked for her name back. Like she ain't even want Chauvin. She didn't want
Oh
that shit
no. Mm-mm.
in the divorce. And I do know that during the trial, there wasn't nobody in support of Derek Chauvin there. The one day they said that somebody was sitting in the one seat or whatever. They had sectioned off some seats for a support system for him. I'm not speaking on it one way or other. I just know that there was nobody in that courtroom
Yeah,
for
that
his
was
support.
fire.
You know what I mean? So they're going, but he doesn't have a criminal record because he was a cop doing criminal shit. So
Yeah,
I feel like they
right.
should take in consideration his disciplinary papers, because there is some, okay, and take that shit into accountability when they're talking about sentencing.
Right, because he had what, 19 complaints against him at least?
22,
22.
22. Okay.
22, and two of them was like recent, like still in motion or whatever.
And then I think that there's certain things to where like they should not be able to, if you get fired for different disciplinary actions that you have, you shouldn't be able to go to the next town over and get hired there. That shouldn't, you
No,
shouldn't be allowed to do that.
no,
But
you
see,
should
I think
not.
You're putting
that's the
everybody's safety in jeopardy by
Hmm.
putting
Yes,
someone on your police force.
one
I
thing that
agree.
was on that bill too, as far as if their records will become, I guess, public.
Good. They
They
should.
should. They
We need,
should.
as citizens, I feel like we need to know that.
Yes. Well, I'm hoping for the maximum sentence that he can possibly get, which is up to 40 years, I think,
Mm-hmm.
75, or if they add them all up together, because each each charge holds a different sentence. So the one with the most time was the second degree murder charge,
There was 40 years.
40 years. The other charge was like the maximum was 25 years, and then the manslaughter was 10 years.
I wonder
But
if he,
Minnesota has their own laws. So because he didn't have a criminal record, the judge can take that into
So
consideration and give
when he
him
was
the
getting,
minimum, which is
see,
12 and a half years.
mhm.
okay,
I wonder.
So
I wonder. I mean, I guess there's no real way of knowing this, but I wonder if he knew he was going to be found guilty, or if he felt like he was going to be found guilty.
I think so.
I mean, as good as a defense lawyer that Eric Nelson was, I'm sure he had advised his client like, hey, you're going to be found guilty, or if you're found guilty, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll try to appeal. I'm going to do what I could do to get you the lesser charge, but he's going to do that 12 and a half. He's going to do that 12 and a half. I'm hoping that the judge tacks that manslaughter on and add that shit on so he could do the 32 years, because that's closer to the 40. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I do know that he's not going to be in general population when he hit the beam.
Yeah.
Can be. It could be done.
He's not going to be
I
in
would.
gym pop.
No, yeah.
So
Well,
I feel like it's people, that was watching, and, across the world, everybody, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, enough is enough. I'm sad that George Floyd had to lose his life. I'm sad that his family had to lose him in that way.
mhm.
But in the same sense, I feel like that was what was needed. Is that bad to say? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, something needed to
That-
happen like that for us to be able to move over a hump, because I feel like this was a hump that we needed to get over.
I don't know. Well, I was the catalyst for change was needed. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I mean,
yes, I do. I have some good words for it, but I do.
yeah.
You think that and COVID was like both? It made us because we had to sit down and just look at it. You
Pay
think?
attention, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody was on their phones. Everybody was working from home.
All the sports was getting canceled.
We ain't have nothing. We ain't have nothing to do but watch live videos on people's news feeds all day.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say shout out to George Floyd's family. I know, they're really happy that they got justice for their loved one.
Definitely.
It's not going to bring them back, of course, but I know, they find some peace in getting justice for him. Shout out to the activists who was out there on the front lines, marching, bringing awareness, not backing down, demanding justice for George Floyd. Shout out to the prosecutors. They did an amazing job.
They did.
Everybody involved in this process. Shout out to
the witnesses, the prosecution witnesses, Dr. Martin Tobin, Donald Williamson, Darnella Frazier, her little cousin, like all of them. The 911 operator, the firefighter, what was her name? Geneva, something, all of them. Yeah. Because I know that moving forward, just like, you know what I'm saying, moving forward, the people who did not like the verdict for whatever reason, how can you be a human and not like that verdict? When you watch somebody take somebody's life, somebody in a uniform that's supposed to protect and serve, take somebody's life again. Like, how can you not be for that? Like, how can you be, with that,
Yeah.
And I want to say, the 9-year-old, I can't remember her name. She's going to be like, this is embedded in her for the rest of her life. She's 9.
Yeah.
Like, she's 9. You know what I mean? So like that struck a chord with me too, especially when she was on the stand. I cried the whole time.
Like, we all got kids. Could you imagine?
Exactly. Exactly.
Like at the age of 9 years old, it's crazy.
And the fact that the people was there, they had to call the police on the police. That stood out to me too. Like, how you have to call the police on the police? That shit don't even make no sense.
It don't.
Like, the 911 operator had to call. Like, she called the chief. Like, she went straight to it, shot out to her. Like, she thought the fucking camera was frozen. Like, I know this ain't right.
Yeah.
So I hope that the other things that's not right get fixed so we can move forward.
Yeah.
Right.
And not be in fear when we see lights behind us for a simple traffic violation or a stop, or, they pull up,
There shouldn't be no reason why I get out of my car.
Right.
One small step forward in a laundry list of things that need to be fixed in this country. But
yes.
Okay.
For sure.
So do y'all want to I know that we just kind of like wanted to talk about or acknowledge Black Rob Ross.
Yeah.
He passed away on, was that Sunday?
The 17th?
That was Saturday. Yeah. That was kind of like, I don't want to say shocking, because he looked bad when he did the video talking about DMX. I don't necessarily know that a lot of people knew that he was in whatever condition he was in. They said he had some sort of condition that had to do with his kidneys.
Mm-hmm.
Kidney failure, and he recently had 4 strokes.
Wow.
In the video, he was, saying that, he didn't have a place to live and all types of stuff.
Super sad.
That was the first time that I seen him, like, far as like social media wise, like, you know what I'm saying? So like to go from that to, see that was like, oh wow. And he mustered up the strength to give a shout out to DMX who
Mm-hmm.
passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple days later, he passed away. He was significant, in our era of music. You know what I'm saying? The younger generation probably don't know Black Rock. You know what I mean? But we do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I
You
like
can't tell
Black
me
Rock a
nothing.
lot.
What was my jam?
everybody's jam.
Yes.
Everybody's jam. I
Definitely.
told y'all I had a story with Black Rob. Dupree was in the music and all of that stuff or whatever. So, but he was in McKeesport. Like, you know what I'm saying? He performed down Larry's. He was down there a couple times, more than one time. But that day he pulled up to have you jump out. Time is money. Like, let's go. They beeping the horn. I'm like, I'm bullshitting. He's bullshitting to get out the door to be on the go. I come to the door. It's Black Rob standing outside to have you.
That's
That's
what's
what's
up.
up.
That's
Yeah. So
well,
yeah.
isn't
So
it fascinating how somebody could be famous, but their story ends in a way that, like, you would have never pictured based on the amount of notoriety that he had within the hip hop community, that he would have a story where nobody really knew that he was even sick, or
I
not
know a
nothing
couple
he
of
was
years,
aware of, or
ago, a few years ago, he had did some type of interview or whatever, and he said something about having some type of health issues. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's probably something maybe he was just trying to battle privately.
yeah.
I'm taken back by the fact that he said something about being not having nowhere to go or something, and then I see that they had to start a GoFundMe to cover his funeral expenses.
Mhm.
Not too long ago, I did see something where they said something about Diddy said that he'll pay for the funeral or whatever. I mean, I felt like that should have been like a no brainer,
Mhm.
just in
Yeah,
my opinion.
like I don't want to say that he didn't, but it kind of sounds like Rob's passing may have been a surprise to him too. And I'm like, you don't
Hmm.
check on your people, like,
Hmm. Well, I don't necessarily know that Diddy and his artists all have like the best relationships, because
mhm.
I don't feel like he did none of them fairly. You know what I'm saying? If he had it, maybe they'll still be together because all those artists was bomb.
Yeah.
So
Diddy and his Bad Boy was running things for a minute there.
for a minute.
They
So
was.
what happened? Diddy blew up and he said, "Fuck the artist." When he started in the videos with Suge Knight say, dancing in your videos. Then he got the mic. He started making his own music. He said he ain't need none of them.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like Black Rob. I feel like what Pimp C was saying make it even more like prevalent. They need to have some type of union. Hip hop needs to have some type of
Mhm.
union.
But
There
Nori
should be,
been saying that.
Yeah.
there should be
Yes.
no reason why somebody like Black Rob got to be searching for a place to go.
Yeah. I mean,
For
do other
sure.
do other genres of music have that, or they don't?
I'm not sure, but you don't never hear nobody, being off and out like that, but other than hip hop. So it'd
You
be
Mhm.
said
like
they should have a what?
a union.
Oh, okay.
to where things are set up for people like that. Like they can have retirement plans and stuff like that for them.
I
And
feel like that should be off top, like off the rip before you running in. You signing your contract for that 150,000 and all of that bullshit. I feel like the essentials need to be taken care of moving forward.
You
Like
know
you know
what's
what I'm saying?
funny?
I just
You know what's
that's
funny?
just
A lot of them be kids when they sign that though.
I
Too.
know, but I mean, where's the parents? Where's the the people?
and a lot of, especially when we're talking about like Black Rob's era and stuff like that, a lot of them contracts was predatory.
Mm-hmm.
But this
Yes.
goes back to what we were saying before. Like Tavi, you talk about, oh, this is standard, that's standard, but standard does not mean right.
Hmm.
But
Especially
like I
when you
said,
know you're preying on somebody's lack of knowledge,
Hmm.
their ignorance as far as the industry is concerned.
Hmm.
I don't know if I ain't gonna say it like that. I'm gonna say it like whatever happened while you were doing what you was doing doesn't matter when you're done doing what you're doing. There should be a comfortable life for you.
I think that I understand what Jessica is saying, and I'm not going to place the blame solely on the industry's behalf because they're going to do what they need to do. I feel like moving forward, the younger artists that needs to be something that's what I'm saying. We've seen what happened, so I feel like that should be that's a you issue that you need to have in contract. Like put this in contract. I'm signing that this amount of money is going to the side. I can't touch it now unless something happens or whatever needs to be in the contract. Like that needs to be off the rip.
I think that that's easier said than done, especially when you're somebody who you don't know what you don't know, right? So
You
how could
don't,
you
but
say,
now the artists now they do know.
do
They know.
they? I don't know. I
See,
don't think
it'd be younger artists and people that's from impoverished areas that don't have the knowledge. You definitely need a
The
lawyer.
people around them know. The people that's putting them in the places that they need to be. You know what I'm saying?
No,
They
because
know.
they all
but they
have the
don't look
same
out for the people
story.
who know don't look out for their interests. And I think that that's
That's
one of the issues
sad.
too,
But what
because
I'm saying,
even hold on, because even like when you get a lawyer, the lawyer has a vested interest in probably getting you a shady contract as well.
well, most of the
And a
time, the
lot of
lawyer
people, a
comes
Possibly.
lot
from
of
the
artists have talked about that too before.
yeah, it's because the lawyer will normally come from the record agency. It'll be like, here, you need a lawyer, here's a card. And so basically you're hiring the record agency's lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like all one circle of getting screwed
Their
over.
their job is to get the best deal for the record company, not you.
Yeah, because they're gonna keep
Hmm.
the clients coming. Kind of like that movie. What was that? I Care.
And what they don't
Oh, I
know,
care. Yeah.
they need to get hit with that. It's really, really sad when you have an artist who had a run. And I understand that a lot of people, they got out the industry and whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I know that he made the Bad Boy label a few dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Whereas
what I'm
though
saying,
I feel like, his living situation, I don't know what that's about or whatever. But as far as like a funeral expense, like that shouldn't have even been a thought.
Mm-hmm.
but who?
I seen some posts from Kima from Total. She's like, she didn't know he was in the state that he was in. So she the video. A lot of people, like once they seen the video, they started reaching out. So they really don't know if he was even able to even read those, comments or whatever. But they said that the family was asking for money to help with his medical expenses because he had been in the hospital and
Mm-hmm.
had the 4 strokes and he was that.
Oh no, you freezing up, Kenya?
Yeah, he
It's
freezing up.
really,
King.
really sad. So R.I.P. to Black Rob. I listened to his music today. I really like a couple of the songs that him and Joe Hooker got. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, So
You don't know me.
my
Oh
jam.
no.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Yeah. So
I
what else we
remember he had
got? Oh,
We
tonight.
have uh,
no, go ahead.
Tonight, in celebration of 420, there's a versus battle. I don't know if people know there's a versus battle tonight. Um, Redman and Method Man
mhm.
in celebration of 420. So I know that'll be good.
Yeah, yeah. That's gonna be real fun. And I know they're gonna be
Hmm.
talking their shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check that out.
I'm
I'm torn.
more of a Method Man fan than I am Redman, but Redman got a couple joints that I like or whatever. But they got songs together that I like too. But yeah.
Uh it depends, because if we're talking Wu Tang and Method Man, I
We should
like
not be. We should not be. We should
I
just
like
be talking Method Man.
so I like Redman better. Solo artists, I like
Oh,
Redman.
okay. No, we talking just Method Man. We ain't talking. We ain't. It ain't Woo. It's just meth.
For some reason, to me, young Redman, when he used to hang around EPMD, was so hard to me.
He was. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we'll see. Back he had a CD called, well, I don't even know if it was a CD, a tape called Muddy Waters. He still like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
So.
nostalgia for me. Like you would never think that like back when we was coming up, like versus how I am now, like with the type of music I listen to now, like but back in the day, I was really into hip hop. And no, you probably would never think it. Because I barely listen to it now.
It ain't hip hop anymore. It's different.
Yeah, it's
It
dead.
is. It is trash,
Yeah.
in
There's
my
the
opinion. I
there's
don't
the
know what's
before
going on.
internet era and there's the after the internet
Yeah, the internet era is trash.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, and Dale, like when you think like when we was coming up, we grew up on like the Tupacs, the Biggies, the
Where
Redman,
they
Method
actually
Man
put a
stuff.
song together. It was a hook, it was a song, it was a vibe, it was a story. They wasn't always talking about every line,
Mm-hmm.
shoot 'em up, bang bang. I don't know what the fuck they be popping pills. I mean, there were songs like that, but it wasn't every song. Like the songs nowadays don't have no substance.
You think it's
I
because
think.
songs come out so fast? You think it's because remember before people used to come out with an album like once a year.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's why they talk about what DMX did was so amazing because at that time that's what people were doing. And he hit folks with 2 albums in one
Right,
year and they
right,
both was hard.
Yeah.
right.
So I think that might have something to do with it. People took more time back then. You
Mm-hmm.
and now it's like we will throw it at the wall and see if it stick.
And then now the
Yeah.
tracks are shorter. Like you might have 3 minute tracks where before they was like 5, 6 minutes. You
For
know.
sure.
Yep.
Like she said, there'll be 2, 3 choruses. There might be 5 people on one song.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we listened to
And
that shit the whole way through. And if it was our jam, we rewind that shit. Like,
I ain't
you know what
listening to
album
that.
got the longest songs? The Chronic. Dr. Dre, The Chronic. Those songs on that album is long as hell, but I'll hit repeat in a minute.
yeah,
All 59 minutes of the one song. So, but yeah.
man, yeah, y'all just made me think about how when Tupac passed away, I was 16 years old. Like
Jeez.
how heartbroken we was. And then I guess I would have been Biggie was 2017, but I wouldn't have been 17 yet. I was still 16, I think.
I remember I was devastated.
I was, yeah, yes, yeah.
For some reason, when Tupac died, though, I thought he was going to live. I don't know.
I
Everybody
think
did.
everybody did.
Huh?
Everybody did.
Everybody did.
Yeah, so it was like it was heartbreaking.
And do you
It
know
really
how long
was.
people, it was heartbreaking, but people still held on to conspiracy theories for years and years after that. Like,
Still
Pac's still
do.
alive. He's somewhere in South America. bloody, bloody, blah. Like,
The Machiavelli theory.
yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah.
he put out the most music in the little bit of time that he was here to put out the music that we could listen to it for a lifetime, and that's amazing.
That boy was fueled up when he got out of jail. He had
Mm-hmm.
some things he wanted to talk about.
Yes,
Jeez.
yes. I was
Positive.
listening to he is in my playlist, so I listen to him often because he's you know
The
the
pop was
jams is in my playlist.
the
But
pop
how
was
When I
eerie was it like at that time when like Hail Mary end up coming out and then I Ain't Mad at You end up coming out and it was just real like weird.
it was.
So I know we went I know we went into left field with that. But yeah, shout out to hip hop. We love it.
Yeah,
420
shout out
Yes,
to
we
Limit
did.
shout out to Biggie Hip
versus
Hop,
Tonight,
man.
Triller,
Speaking
Instagram.
speaking of hip hop, did y'all hear about A.R. getting 45 years?
Yeah, I heard
No,
about that.
45 years?
Yeah, 45 years.
For what? What they do?
A whole bunch of everything.
Oh, okay.
45 years.
Okay.
I,
Well,
I like AR too.
I like,
Um,
yeah, I like him
I,
too. I didn't know a whole lot about him, but the little bit I seen with the
he
interview.
was still dabbling in the streets as he probably had to because he wasn't a mainstream artist or anything like that. A lot of people don't even probably know who he is or whatever, but he definitely was still dabbling in the streets and
For sure.
doing that, getting those 45 years. And I feel like there's a homicide connected to that too, or something conspiracy something
Cause he
Yeah.
was
connected to that too.
I know he had something to do with that shit that when Cassidy went down too from back in the day. So he already had a rap sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So whatever he got into past that, they ain't show him no love.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cause that thing that happened with Cassidy was a murder charge, wasn't it? From back in the day, you don't remember
I
that?
don't remember.
Remember?
Yeah, yeah, that Cassidy beat a murder charge.
Mm.
I feel like I vaguely remember that. I feel like I
Yeah, it
do.
was so long ago because he ended
Hmm.
up getting hot after that for a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, Cassidy caught a murder charge, but I think AR had something to do with that. But he wasn't known back then. Only
Hmm.
Cassidy's
Hmm.
known.
I see what you're saying.
Mm-mm-mm.
It'd be
Yep.
funny how all
So
these dudes be having Vlad interviews. I'm about to say, I think maybe AR talking about something in a Vlad interview or something. But it'd just be so ironic that they all be having Vlad interviews.
You know what though?
hmm
Speaking of Vlad interviews, do y'all know I did not mess with Vlad ever since he refused to apologize to Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Oh yeah,
I have not watched anything Vlad. Unsubscribed
I be
everything since then.
I be feeling sleazy
what
sometimes. You know, like
happened?
he was wrong. He said Minister Farrakhan said something, but he didn't when they checked the tapes, and he apologized for it. It was
Yeah,
something.
he basically lied and said that Minister Louis Farrakhan said something that he did not say. And you know, Vlad,
It was
he's
something
Jewish,
controversial.
but he's not like a practicing Jew. So I felt like that was kind of like a sleazy move on his part because you know it kind of lends to the narrative that Minister Louis Farrakhan hates the Jews and this and that. And I feel like, you know, regardless of who it was, whether it was the minister or not, if you lie, if you misquote somebody, you need to make it right.
Especially if that's what
Especially
you
since you have as big a platform as you have. You need to
and
make
you
it right.
Right.
you try to talk about integrity all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The bullshit. Just like here in who's that? Aaron Donaldson. He was
Yeah, yeah.
accused of
Beating dude
fracturing.
up.
He fractured his eye socket. His arm was all messed up. He was on the news with a lawyer. And I cannot even believe the lawyer would just pop out like that. Like it was a for sure. I feel like you should have really did your homework
You should have knew that there
before
was a
you
video out
came
for
out
that.
like that. Like, What was the rush to get out there to say that that's what something like you publicly accused a man of doing some shit that he didn't even do?
Shout out to videos.
Shout out again to video
Mm-hmm.
and cameras. But
Mm-hmm.
not only that, he did make an apology, but I don't feel like the apology was as big as whenever he stepped out and accused them. Because he wasn't he on live TV, he was standing outside with his client. So but the apology was in his dining room with the
Mhm.
lights dim.
The
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
lawyer, the
not
lawyer
What's,
probably
what
cool.
is
like,
it?
okay,
What is that
buddy.
that they say? Your apology needs to be just as loud as your disrespect.
It does. It does.
I'm
It
glad he
does.
apologized, though. I am glad. I'm
I
glad he did.
mean, I'm glad that he apologized too, but I just think that it should have been the same thing too. Like his client should have been standing there too.
I wonder if he knew who beat him up. If our face would have been looking like that, I would say Aaron Donald beat me up too.
I
No,
mean, he
somebody.
might have thought that. It was so much going on, but whenever you do something like that and you accuse somebody publicly, like you really have to, like I feel like you should be sure.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, he shouldn't have never tried to sue nobody, even if Aaron Donald did beat him up, because he was just butt hurt that he got beat up. So,
And not
like,
only that, even though the lawyer apologized, though, do you know what that did to Aaron Donaldson's character in those minutes,
mm-hmm, killed him.
in those
He probably was
days?
losing. He probably was losing. Danos or whatever, the yogurt. They probably is calling him like, we can't use you anymore.
Yeah, because people was just like, damn, they know him. Like, he's not that type of guy, but what happened? We didn't really know what happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we like, you still got to be like, did he really do that? Did something happen that led for him to do that? Like, I'm waiting to hear that type of shit. Like, it just went to that's what he did. Like, y'all knew for a fact that that's what he did. That's crazy. It's character damaging. Like, it is.
For sure. But we never talk about that as people on social media. Like you said, it ain't even getting no coverage as far as the dude apologized for real.
Mm-hmm.
Not like it did whenever he popped out.
Swear.
That shit was flying around. You know, the news media, they got a hold of it. It went off like fires, just like everything else that people, grab onto. But somebody like that, I just feel like they should have been sure.
That man is the highest paid football player other than a quarterback.
Yes. And then you do got the scandal within the NFLs of all these players being abusive to their spouses and charges coming at murders and stuff like that. So you know what I'm saying? When it was said, like I said, I was like, oh well, what happened? Like I wanted to know what happened. Like you know what I mean? So I wasn't expecting the next thing that I seen was Aaron Donaldson. I mean, Aaron Donaldson's lawyer saying, "Here's what happened," and put the video out. I wasn't expecting that.
Like we were in this all right now in the offseason.
Period. Done.
We ain't got to even carry this over to training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Done. So, but in return, though, I mean, can he be sued for defamation of character?
I think he
He
should.
can, but he ain't got nothing to do it.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? When people do shit like that's what should happen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it should. Or I think that even if the person doesn't sue you for defamation, there should be charges brought up on you for some sort of false accusation type charges. Because even when we look at things that happen, like Central Park Karen or whatever they was calling her, like you was really trying to act like that man was trying to assault you and lying.
Yes,
Like,
that's a good example. That's another good example.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. But I was thinking, like, in this case, he should at least be responsible for Aaron Donald's lawyer fees. Like, he should have to pay his lawyer fees at least.
Who is this person that accused him? He might not even have it.
but you could make him owe something like that. And of
I
course, you
mean,
ain't got to pay it right then and there.
you don't,
I
but
mean, I feel
who's
like
saying
he was
everything?
eager. He was eager to know that it was Aaron Donaldson and got a lawyer quick.
I think that little
Yeah, but his lawyer is
$60,000, $70,000
not
that
Aaron Donaldson's lawyer.
yeah, I think he should have to pay his lawyer fees. I honestly do.
What
Like
you
with
say,
Aaron
Jess? I
Donald,
ain't hear you.
I was like, yeah, but his lawyer is not Aaron Donaldson's lawyer.
I think he needs to because he automatically got to get a lawyer once that happened. Like,
Well, he does, but I think I'm looking at it from a standpoint. I mean, I guess you could sue him if you got time. It all
I'm just
depends
saying.
on what your what's more valuable to get back or your time and efforts. Because I mean, would it really be worth it? Or you
I'm
know,
just saying, like he was quick to go get a lawyer, knowing that maybe that might have been his payday because a NFL football player beat him up. Like he stood
mhm,
on camera with his lawyer. Like you know what I'm saying. So I feel like just as sure as he did that, like it should he had in his mind that this is what it's going to be. You know what I mean?
mhm,
I
yeah.
think it was the totality. I think he was telling somebody that he got into a fight with Aaron Donald, and somebody was like, "Yo,
So
what?
So
You can get paid
do
for
you
that."
have that same energy with the people who really did that to him? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Is it the same energy? If Aaron Donald um was out of the equation, what if it wasn't him? Would he have went and got a lawyer and stood up and said,
But that's
"Oh,
what I
Joe
said.
Smo did this
He
to
got to
me"?
take that L no matter what. Like whoever it was, you just got an L. Like
Yeah.
that's how I look
Like
at it. No matter
I'm
if they
just
famous or
confused by
not.
that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Because wasn't it? Was it one?
Probably not. Probably a crack.
cause
No.
people get in fights after the bar, after the club every time, like all the time. Like I ain't never seen them say, yeah,
It probably was a
dude
cash
knocked me
grab.
out. I got a lawyer. I'm going to go. I'm pressing charges. Like I ain't never seen that. But
Yeah,
because it was Aaron,
but the objective here is if you find out it's Aaron, was it Aaron Donaldson? Once you
Aaron
find out
Donald.
it's him and your lawyer finds out it's him, it could turn into a civil suit or a settlement outside of court. That's probably not going to happen if I get into altercation with Jane Doe at the bar. You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
So
exactly,
celebrities all the time pay for stuff to go away. So,
exactly.
but
So that's what I'm
Aaron
saying.
Donaldson probably have a
Those
cash
facts should have been there
grab.
before
Hmm.
you made a public appearance to damage
Maybe,
somebody's
but
character.
then there's other celebrities that we know of who've been accused of things that they say after the fact they didn't do, but then they settle out of court just to make the whole thing go away.
Right.
So maybe they
Right.
got
That's why I was like, oh, when I heard it, like, let me see. But since we seen the tape,
but I guess Aaron Donaldson said he got time today. And he was like,
His name's Aaron Donald.
Aaron
Aaron
Donald,
Donald.
Aaron Donald, sorry. My bad.
That story though, like I just look at it like she said, like the Karen stories almost. It's just like people looking at something, but in reality, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, if you remove that, if you remove like with the Karens, if you remove the black person out of that situation, it's not going to be that way. And the same thing with the Aaron Donald situation. You remove him out of that situation, you're not going to get a lawyer and get in front of a press conference and say,
Mm-hmm.
I got beat up
Mm-hmm.
at the boom boom room.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
He just caught an L. You catch an L, you catch an L.
Yeah.
But his face was beat up. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Tyson and Mitch Green. Remember that?
I mean, watching the video, he got it. Watching the videos, it looked like he got it, but shit, thank God for Aaron.
Because then he
Because it
break it
could have
up.
been worse.
He the one that broke it up, right?
Yeah, he was moving people out the way. Like, don't do that to my man. That's what I'm saying. The apology should have came from the client too. Like,
For sure. I agree.
as black men, like, yeah. You take that on the chin. You was quick to pop out there like that. I apologize to that
like
man.
like a little
Hmm.
girl.
Yeah.
Apologize for that man. And I mean, if you want to seek justice for the people who did do that to you, all power to you.
I'm just glad everybody was safe and they nobody get shot.
Exactly.
Because that had to be hard on the pride right there.
It was.
But what else, Jess?
Well, I know we want to wrap it up because versus is on. But I
Yes.
did want Kenya to ask her a question.
I'm gonna save it.
Oh, all right. Well,
Save it, save it, save it.
well, if
Save
you're
it.
saving your
Yeah.
question, then we don't have anything else. Then
That's it.
hmm that was the last thing on the docket. Y'all, y'all ran up the clock with Aaron Donalds.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's cool.
We don't got nothing else. We don't want to talk about the snowfall situation that just happened, and that the season finale is coming up. And the fact that Jessica jumped on and started binge watching the series so she could catch up.
And I will be caught up.
Snowfall.
I'm on season 3, episode 8. And I will
Snowfall should get extended for 10 more seasons.
I will I will be caught up on Thursday for the finale, for the season finale. We will be finishing up season 3 tonight. So I'll be
Word.
with the buzzer beater as far as like finishing up season 4, but I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it.
Okay. Okay.
Y'all gotta watch that Law and Order too, man. That
The new
organized
one.
organized crime one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Law and Order is like an American treasure at this point. Like
It is.
if there ain't nothing else on to watch, you got a old faithful Law and Order to put on.
Right.
I've been trying to watch The Stand too. It's okay. Did y'all finish watching them?
I didn't because I've been immersed in Snowfall.
All right.
I got the last episode to go, and I'm just like, should I even watch it?
I didn't watch the last episode yet.
I got the last episode to go.
That's the
How
last,
many
last
episodes
episode
of them is there?
8, 10.
eight or nine. Oh.
Okay, yeah, somewhere around there.
So is that gonna be my
I know
question?
I got the last episode to watch, and I'm just like, the last episode got to be some type of
Crazy.
redemption or something, like something else.
Should I make that my next project after Snowfall so that we can talk about it next week?
Yeah. The only thing I want to say, Kenya, is the little girl pissed me off so bad.
Why?
The older daughter.
Oh, she did. Me as well. Me as well. Because I'm
That's all I
like,
want to
what?
say. That's all I want to say. I'm gonna let Jessica watch it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you watch it too, because and then you're gonna be like, what the fuck happened? Because I still, what happened?
We'll talk about
Like
it.
literally, I do not know what happened, and I'm just like, what is going on here?
That's how you know the next episode gotta be some real shit.
It better be this last episode. I don't know,
Right.
but I watched it. I can't say that I'll watch it again. I don't like it. It's a lot, but I mean,
It's what's the show? What's that movie called? Get Out. It's Get Out times 1,000.
and see, and that's crazy because I never watched Get Out.
Oh, really? I like Get Out.
Nope, because I normally don't watch things like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really don't.
Did you watch Us?
Probably not. Who's in that?
It's the one guy who plays the dad, Lupita Nyong'o. The guy who plays the dad.
Nope, I ain't watch it. I didn't
Black
watch it.
Panther, but you ain't watch Black Panther.
If it's like scary or any type of shit that I got to pull the blanket up like this during parts, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, it can be.
So I didn't watch that. I'm
But
surprised I'm watching them only because Dupree want to watch it. Like he wanted to watch it, so I'm watching it. But I was the first couple episodes. I was like this.
but that is
I was.
that's why I asked y'all if this felt like a Jordan Peele ripoff, because that first episode I watched, it reminded me of Us.
It is. It's a
Well, I've
lot.
seen
It's a lot like
snippets
that.
of the other movies, and I can see why you said that because those are the type of movies that he makes. Yes.
And even when you look at like the artwork for the advertisement, it's similar to that movie Us that he did. So I was like,
Okay.
and the movie is called Us, the series is called Them. I mean,
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
so I'm like, did he have something to do with this? But I thought that this was produced by Lena Waithe.
That makes sense because sometimes she goes overboard. She's an artist.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I really didn't even pay attention. I'm gonna look this last episode. I'll probably watch that tonight.
All right. I'm
So,
gonna get back to Snowfall tonight.
All right.
So during,
all right,
y'all
guys.
go
So,
ahead and do y'all's thing on the verses. I'm gonna try to pop in and see all the goodness of Method Man. And but I'm really gonna be trying to knock that Snowfall out.
All right.
all right.
All right, guys. Love y'all. Talk
Love
to
y'all
y'all
Too.
later.
Bye.